Hello, it's me, Squalid Gamer, and we've gotten some updates on Diablo 4 and its new season, the season of the Construct. Now, this will be the third season. The first one was pretty bad, let's be honest, but the second season was actually pretty good, even though I didn't really play a lot because, come on, man, like Diablo 4 is in a pretty bad state. It's getting better, but it's kind of bad right now. So we've gotten some details on this new season, which will start as of uploading this video around 6 days after. In the main page, in the main overview page, we have a new thread of elemental destruction with the trailer, and they outline the features, which is a new quest line like we've gotten on the other two seasons. A new seasonal companion will get a pet, and new seasonal dungeons and a new boss battle. So as Varshan, I guess, we'll have a new pinnacle boss for this season. We have the Gauntlet, which is a weekly dungeon rotator where we can compete for the best score in a leaderboard. Will come, but will not come on launch. And then we have some outlines of the updated gameplay experience because they are going to do some quality of life here. But we're going to go into details with the blog post in the news section of the blizzard.com website. They have given more information here in this post, and people are kind of divided on it, and I think with good reason. So let's talk about what is coming in the season of the Construct. We have basically a new storyline where, well, let's say some demons are going crazy. There's a new bad guy in town, and Soltun Kule, which was a character in Diablo Immortal and Diablo 3, and Ayuzan of Caldium were busy, making little robots here and there, and now a big bad demon has taken control of the place where they were building these robots, and we have to go and fix this situation and kill the bad guy, right? That's basically what the new quest line is stated here as. Now, as part of this quest line, we will get a seneschal companion. This will be a pet that is going to join us in our journey through Sanctuary. This pet is going to be upgradable, and this is actually pretty good because they are just taking Path of Exile's upgrading system, and we have basically a 2-4 link pet. We have one utility skill and one attack skill that they will be, supported by some of these stones. They are called. They're not gems in this game. They are stones. They here in the news post, they outline what these stones do. We have the governing stones, which are like the main stones, the ones that will be supported, the ones that will actually do something, and then we have the tuning stones, which will grant benefits to the abilities of the governing stones. They also said that we have Evernight and Genesis stones that we will be able to get, but there is not any information about it. That's why they have question marks. I guess we'll know more in the campfire chat coming this Friday. I could go on and read everything up here, but if you're interested, just go and read them because they give an outline of what they do, but they don't really give any values. So some of them sound good and sounds like they may be able to power new builds and improve builds that already exist. But since we don't really have any values, we can't really say for sure if this will be game breaking or game changing, even though we know that in the season 2 they really got better at allowing more power to flow through the characters. So it's pretty interesting, but we'll know more when they share the values of each of the support and governing stones. Okay, so then we have test yourself in deadly new dungeons that are called vaults. So vaults are not modifications of existing dungeons, from what I could gather reading these posts, but are new dungeons where we will mainly be fighting these robots that are the main focus, the main enemy of this season. And these bolts, we will be able to actually power up the bolts before we go in and make them harder to get better rewards. Once we start fighting in bolts, we'll get materials that we can spend to make bolts harder as we progress. Now, the bolts are going to work the same way that Nightmare Dungeons work. When we move on to World Tier 3, we will start getting sigils for these bolts that we can use to activate them and then go through them. So it is actually pretty interesting. They're taking a lot of notes from Path of Exile. Let's be honest. This works a little bit like this is the pretty baby brother of the map system in PoE. You know, we have a map which is a vault, and then we can use materials to make them stronger to get better rewards. Now, there's a lot that has been said about the Gauntlet because it is not coming in the beginning of the season. It is coming way later, and that has people in the community a little bit riled up, you know, a little bit angry, because this was one of the main points of the Diablo 4 presentation at BlizzCon and what they've been talking about for a long time. That is, we are going to be able to compete against other players in leaderboards in the Gauntlet. And now we find that the Gauntlet is not coming in the beginning of the season, which means that basically when the Gauntlet eventually arrives, everything in the season will have already been figured out, and there's going to be one build that conquers them all, or maybe two builds that conquer them all, and nobody's going to play anything different if they want to actually compete and get to the first places. We don't really know how far after the launch of the season the Gauntlet will be available. There's nothing about that in here, but again, we'll have to wait for the campfire chat to get more information about this. There's quality of life updates that are coming soon. The one that has me the most excited actually is the enhanced movement with WASD, with WASD. Now on PC, we're going to be able to move the character with WSD. So I'm curious about the implementation. Is it going to be a little bit, you know, fucky? Or is this like tried and true and we'll be able to move the character without any issues? This is basically the main concern I have with this, but I think this is actually pretty good. I think WASD is the superior form of movement, and it will allow us to be actually better, I think, at playing the game. Health tides will continue to be almost up every time. When one ends in an hour, then we'll have 5 minutes for it to relocate, and then we will have the other hour of health tides all of the time, which is pretty good because that means we can get our characters up and running when we hit World Tier 3 pretty fast. We have an extra stash tab, which is again one stash tab, which, come on, like Blizzard, how hard can it be? And we have some other quality of life updates that they didn't really went into detail about, and I guess we'll see when the campfire chat comes, along with some improvements to the respecking, which that's actually pretty okay. And the rest of the post is basically trying to sell us the battle pass. The same here. After updated gameplay experience is just battle pass, which okay, whatever, it's okay. Battle pass, cosmetics and things like that, and a little bit of platinum, which is not enough to buy the battle pass for the next season, but okay. So basically that's it. That's what we know so far. Now people are pretty upset because the Gauntlet, which is basically 50% of the seasonal content, is not coming at launch. And we know how bad Diablo 4 struggles with retention of players. It's crazy. People leave the game immediately, the ones that still play. So when the Gauntlet comes, probably there won't be a lot of people, you know, trying it out, or maybe will. I don't know. We'll have to see. But it would have been great to have it on launch of the season. That will not be the case. We'll have to see when the campfire chat comes to see how the stones and how these values are actually tuned, and what other updates we'll get to the classes and the abilities. We know that we will have like 6 new uniques and some new legendary powers. So maybe that will be interesting, but we will have to see. Now, I think it's pretty mid. Actually, I think the pet is kind of fun, but and the bolts could be interesting, but the problem with Blizzard and Diablo 4 is the implementation. Like, they fail there. Maybe they have some good ideas, but when they implement them, it's actually not pretty good. So that's it. That's all I have to say. I hope you guys are great, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.